What's up, YouTube world? I'm OCS and this is my review of last night's boxing action. We were treated to a great event as a boxing fan last night. About 7 o'clock at night, put your telly on and you can pretty much watch boxing all the way through till about 4:30, 5 in the morning. It was good. Anyway, let's kick things off with Wilder versus Ortiz for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Both men came to the ring undefeated and both men were knockout artists. First few rounds, not a lot was happening, was it? It was very much first couple of rounds feeling each other out, fair enough. I thought Ortiz took the first 4 rounds myself, purely because he was boxing better and landing more shots. Wilder was trying to keep it long, but without really throwing. It looked like he was looking for one punch, and I thought that was a bit dangerous against Ortiz because Ortiz is known to have a chin, and I was going to be surprised if he got him out of there with one hit. Anyway, we're going to the 5th round, and it's going pretty much the same way. Ortiz is winning the fight in my eyes. And then bang, Wilder catches him on his temple. Ortiz done a funny dance, and down he went. He got back up. Round ended, come back out, and I think Ortiz started taking control again. It was quite surprising. I thought Wilder was going to jump on him, but he didn't. It was very much a bull versus matador type of fight, with Ortiz being the bull and Wilder being the matador, but the matador weren't throwing enough punches in my opinion. And then we get into the 7th round. Now, for those of you who've ever questioned Wilder's heart, desire, passion, he showed it all in that round. He definitely did, because Ortiz coulda and shoulda had him out of there. Wilder was in a world of trouble in that round, and he did well to survive it. And then the next round, again, much like Wilder in the 6th, you expected Ortiz to come out and get on him and put it on him, and he didn't, and he let Wilder recover. And then it was clear to see that Ortiz was starting to tire, and Wilder, being the younger, fresher man, started to take control, and then absolutely took him out in the 10th. It was a great knockout. Wilder showed his heart, determination, guts, power, all of that in that fight. Still not showing his boxing skills though, which is a bit surprising because he definitely has some, given that he won a bronze medal in the Olympics in boxing. But he seems to rely on this wild style. I mean, it's entertaining, but I feel he could have made last night a little bit easier on himself, but he got the job done, so fair play to him. Ortiz come out of this fight looking good as well. He can definitely come again. I have to say, on a personal note, I was wondering what the hype around Ortiz was, because I saw him fight over here in the UK against Malik Scott and Dave Allen, and he didn't look good at all. He looked terrible and average. I wouldn't say terrible, sorry. He looked average, and I couldn't understand. Obviously, he was undefeated, he was knocking guys out, but I couldn't see much there that he was going to trouble the top guys, but he definitely posed Wilder more problems than he'd ever had before in any fights. So both fighters deserve respect for the heart and courage they showed, and they put on a good main event. So well done, guys. Thank you very much. On the undercard, you had Durrell versus Gatti. Get that right in a minute. It was a strange ending to the fight. I don't think Durrell was ever really in it. I think he's got to seriously look at himself in the mirror and think maybe his time's up now, unfortunately. But the fight ended in between rounds. He was chatting to Virgil Hunter, his trainer was Durrell, and Virgil was saying, I'll give you one more round. And then all of a sudden the fight was called off, and Durrell didn't seem like he wanted to fight, but as soon as it was called off, he was then like, he was angry that it had been called off. It was a strange ending, but anyway, we'll see how Gatti gets on. He's in the super middleweight division, which is obviously stacked with a lot of talent, and it'll be interesting to see where he fits in there, how he's going to fare against the top guys, but we'll see what happens. So, moving on, you also had in New York, at the same time, on a different channel, obviously you have HBO and Showtime over in America as the two main fight channels, and I don't understand why they put that show on at the same time as Wilder Ortiz, because I'm pretty sure most people have chosen to watch Wilder, versus Ortiz rather than the Kovalev event. But anyway, Sergey Kovalev's coming on the road back after being defeated by Andre Ward twice. His opposition wasn't much really. He just kind of stood there and got it for 6 rounds. I think it was 6, 7 rounds, and Kovalev, easy night's work. On the undercard, obviously, you had Bivol fighting, who looks like he's going to be Kovalev's next opponent. Bivol looked quite good against a more seasoned opponent, Barrera, and eventually stopped him in the last round. But Bivol did suffer a nasty cut, so it's probably going to keep him out for a while, but it'll be interesting to see. I think those two, it's obvious those two are going to get it on. Both got belts of one description or another, and I think that's the fight they're trying to make happen. Obviously, one of the other main title holders, Adonis Stevenson, is looking to fight Badu Jack for the WBC one, and then hopefully the winners of each one can get it on, and we can see who actually is the best in the light heavyweight division. So that's about it for what happened over in America in my eyes. And then over here in the UK, you had Kell Brook returning after 2 defeats, not disgraceful defeats at all. Obviously lost to Triple G and had a damaged eye socket, and then obviously lost to Errol Spence, again damage to the other side. I don't think the damage against Errol Spence was as bad as the one against Triple G. And the thing was, in my eyes, Kell Brook was in both fights, and he was giving it as much as he could. Maybe not the Triple. I think Triple G was going to come on strong, but the Errol Spence, until his eye got injured, it was 50-50 in my eyes, and whoever took those last few rounds was going to take the fight. Unfortunately, Errol Spence got Errol Spence got the stoppage on Kell Brook because he took a knee and quit. I think he was. If he hadn't had the damage against Triple G, I don't think he would have stopped against Spence. But anyway, it is what it is. He's back now in the super welterweight division, and he knocked his opponent out in 2 rounds. It was just a comeback fight for him. But what looked good was he wasn't afraid. He didn't look afraid to get in and fight, which he might have been given the damage that he's taken to his face. So if his face holds up, we could see exciting things again from Kell Brook, I hope so, and go on to become a 2-weight world champion. On the undercard of that fight, pick of the night, I thought was your fight against McDonald. Now, I said that McDonald could win the fight if he did much what I thought Wilder would do against Ortiz, but Wilder obviously didn't do it, as I mentioned. And that was just keep the fight long and out-jab him. I think McDonald had too much experience for him, and he made him look a bit silly and one-dimensional. I mean, Yafai was just looking for the power shot, and it wasn't landing, and it was just 12 rounds of a boxing lesson, really. Hopefully, Yafai can come back and learn from it, because, as they say, you win or you learn. Hopefully, he can learn and figure out that you need a couple of plans to go in and fight now. You don't just need a plan A, because if plan A ain't working, you got to change it. And he didn't change it at all throughout the fight. So, there was also another event happening up in Scotland, and that was Josh Taylor cruised to victory, 3 rounds over Winston Campos, sorry. It was a late replacement, and Josh Taylor's looking good at the moment. There's talks of him being pushed for a world title. I think he needs a few more fights, get some experience, because that's the other thing that I think they're doing to boxers at the moment, is they're pushing them too quick before they've got experience, and then when things aren't going their way or they're in the deeper rounds, they're unsure of what to do. Whereas if they've been there once or twice before, they're like, right, I've been here, it's okay, we're going to be all right, and stop necessarily pushing these younger fighters so quickly. But I wish Josh Taylor all the luck in the world, and it'll be good to see how his career develops. So, that's about it. It was a great night, an enjoyable night, a tiring night, and I think we were all treated as boxing fans to some fantastic fights last night. So, that's everything from me for today. So, take care, boys and girls, and be happy.